Hey guys, welcome back to another Guild Wars 2 video. So today what we'll be doing is talking about the Mad King's Labyrinth and if you want to farm it efficiently. So of course the number one character or profession that you want to be is a Daredevil. Basically what you want is superior rune of speed, which will give you more movement speed for 66% more under the effect of swiftness. You will have permanent swiftness by just dodging. So when you dodge, as you see I dodge, I get swiftness. So I have 3 dodges, so that's why you want to be a Daredevil, because it gives you 3 dodges and now you have 51 seconds of swiftness, and therefore you'll be moving a lot faster when you have this rune. And as far as the stats on the gear, I chose Celestial because I want a little bit of tankiness and a little bit of damage. Or if you want other people to tag the monsters, you'll probably want to go with a Nomad's gear. So Nomad is probably the best you can do because it doesn't have any power condi or anything that will destroy the mobs a lot faster, so therefore everyone else can tag and yeah, be happy. But at the same time, you have to choose whether you want to be in a labyrinth where people do not do any of the bosses, because if you do the bosses, it's going to take a lot longer for you to kill, and therefore you miss out on all the bags that you could have gone if you did not do those bosses. As far as research goes, they say that if you are able to complete the bosses in less than 1 minute and 40 seconds, then it will be profitable to do. But in a public run, you will probably not be able to kill the bosses in time. So most likely you'll probably want to avoid any of the boss doors and just do the mob doors. As for the weapons, you want to have the staff and short bow. Most likely you're just going to be on short bow all the time because you have this infiltrator arrow, because if you fall behind you can just quickly and just do that, waste some initiative, and then you can catch up. Of course, if you have mount, you can mount, but at the same time, if you are in battle and in combat, you know it's hard to mount up, so all you have to do is just dodge and infiltrate and just catch up to your group that way. And also you have shadow step here, so you got a lot of mobility on the thief, because mobility is very important when you're doing the labyrinth, since you're going to be moving a lot, since the mobs will die fast and you'll just tag once and then just move on. And then we have Dagger Storm, so if you have a lot of mobs around, this thing can tag everything at once, and then you don't have to worry about tagging something that's far away. So the runes, or the sigils that I got for these, are Sigil of Fire, so you have more AoE, and Sigil of Frenzy. Why did I choose Frenzy? Because it reduces all my equipped skills by 2 seconds for the cooldown, so therefore I can use the Dagger Storm a lot more and Shadow Step a lot more as I kill things, since you will be killing things really quickly. And again, this thing has cooldown 10 seconds. And then so we want to go for our traits, right? You want to see my traits. I have Shadow Arts, Trickery, and Daredevil. All of these things help me with my mobility and also not kill mobs as quickly as possible, because you want your other teammates to tag it. So with Shadow Arts, I have these trait lines over here, Deception, because I want to reduce the cooldowns over here. Like let's say if one of my teammates go down, I use the Shadow Refuge, and then they can come back up without me having to stop and revive them automatically. That's why I have Celestial Gear, because I have healing power as well. And then we also get that extra seconds in stealth, and this thing will break stun. And then you have to meld it with shadows because it gives you an extra 50% movement speed. So yeah, your mobility is going to be very top notch on the thief, so you're never left behind. And then we have Trickery, and you get more initiative so that you can spam more of your choking gas, which will be your main weapon whenever you open the doors, because this thing will leave an AoE blast on the floor to tag as many people as you want, because when the door opens, the mob summons, they will be invulnerable for a few seconds, and then therefore, you know, you might miss some of the attacks, so therefore you have the choking gas on the floor, and it will be there for the duration of 3 seconds, and you will be able to tag all the mobs that pop out. And obviously people will level up as quickly, very fast, so you will need to be able to tag right when people level up, and then, you know, it does the explosion thing and then knock all the mobs back, and then therefore you'll miss a tag if you do not have an AoE field there, or if you're just using your one skill. Next thing we want to know, we want to have scattered cow traps when you dodge, so you will be able to dodge 3 times to scatter these, and that's another AoE attack that will leave on the floor so that you can tag even more enemies. And also you want to have tricks that reduce the charge, recharge, and remove conditions. So when you use the Dagger Storm, you're going to be spamming this a lot when you have a lot of enemies that are like scattered around and you just want to tag it all at the same time. You remove your condition, as well as you reduce the cooldown from 90 seconds to 72 seconds. And then you work with it with the frenzy that you have. You will be able to use Dagger Storm a lot more. And our Daredevil, the most important trait is the dash over here, so that whenever you dodge, you basically dodge forward, and you gain extra mobility there. And yeah, that's all you have to do. So just copy the trait line over here. You can read it when you are picking up your little Daredevil skills and stuff like that. And so we're here, and I'm just gonna throw in choking gas all the time and just tag all these enemy here. And occasionally I will use the cluster bomb for more AoE damage. And then I just press Y1 skill to tag everything else, and that's good to go. So just make sure your choking gas is on the floor, and you'll be able to tag every time the mob just spawns out of this door, and then we move on. Again, remember, follow the commander, don't go ahead of him, because that's just gonna be bad manners, since you'll be killing things ahead of him. Of course, that's why you want to have less power damage as possible, so that you don't kill mobs in one hit, because these mobs will go down very quickly. So normally, if you're joining a labyrinth that actually do bosses and stuff, of course you want to have different build templates for each situations that you are in. So try to have 2 different build templates, one for template for doing non-bosses and one template for doing bosses and everything else, because if you have your template for doing bosses, you'll have a lot of DPS, and therefore you'll be killing things too fast for people to tag even mobs. So you don't want to be too bad manners for that. But of course, when you're doing the boss runs, you have to kill the boss as fast as possible. Remember, you have to be killing the bosses in less than 2 minutes in order for you to be profitable. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you today. And if you liked the video, like it, and hopefully this was a quick rundown on what you need to do and what kind of characters and profession to make this most efficiently. And